Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Get Your Popcorn podcast. My name is Holly Holiday. I am the creator and host, and we have returning guest Drake from the First Watch podcast. Can you reintroduce yourself to the people that I guess haven't listened to the 7 episode?
Yeah, I was on the 7 episode several months ago. You've been on my podcast a couple times. You're going to be on it again here pretty soon. But yeah, I have a podcast called the First Watch podcast where we go and watch movies that we haven't seen for the very first time, whether it be myself or the guest that's joining me for whatever episode. And yeah, we're going to have you on here again pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, I think we should just have another little side project podcast. We're recording together so much.
Yeah, I'd be down. Shit.
My husband Drake said, he's like, you gotta have Drake on more. He's like, I like your guys' stuff.
Hey, I'd be down.
So you're joining for I say as though there's anybody else doing this podcast with me. We're joining me for The Wolf of Wall Street, which we're the same age. This came out at such a great time for a teenager to watch a movie like this, where you totally get not, or at least for me, I was like, shit, this looks cool. You're not getting any of the messaging from it at all.
Yeah. I think this came out, I was about to say, I think this came out in high school, whenever I was in high school. Because it was 2014, I want to say?
Something like that.
Somewhere around there?
Let me
double check.
I'm going to pull up the page. 2013.
Yeah, 2013. Yeah. So I was a sophomore at the time in high school.
Yeah. The year before I graduated.
Yeah, I graduated 2015. So I would be a sophomore at this time.
Yeah.
Or if it came out later in the year, I don't know. Anyways, I would have been a sophomore. I remember I didn't watch this in theaters. I wasn't allowed to in my house.
Well, that's probably pretty fair.
Yeah, probably pretty fair considering. But yeah, we waited until it hit streaming or whatever. I don't even think streaming was really a thing at this time. I think somebody rented it. I don't remember how we got a hold of it, but I did end up watching it at a friend's house because we were all we've heard about this movie. We heard it's insane, and we all wanted to watch it, hanging out at someone's house. So we watched it that night that we stayed there, and it was indeed insane. I think it was probably the craziest movie that I had seen at that point. At least not only with the number of moving parts that are involved in a film, how much is going on the screen, but just the crazy antics that this person is going through, and then to find out that he was a real dude, it's how the fuck is this guy able to live this life? It's insane.
Yeah, I saw this 3 times in the theaters.
Oh, wow.
I loved it. I still like it, and it's oddly for me a weird comfort movie where I'm I don't know what to watch. Wolf of Wall Street goes on. It's so funny because I so heavily criticize The Social Network, and I just feel it's the same type of dude. This is a slightly cooler version of that dude.
Yeah, I get that.
I think it's Leo that just pulls it out for me. I don't know. But yeah, I saw this in the theater, and I remember just being blown away. And there's just a feeling where I was I just want to watch this on a loop. I love this.
Yeah, it's got one of those enticing things about it. I don't know if it's the way that it's paced or just there's so much going on that you're just constantly glued to it, and you don't really want to look away because you're afraid that if you do look away, you're going to miss something. Even on, second, third, fourth watch or whatever, because there is so much going on, you can easily pick up on something else that you didn't the last 4 times you watched the movie. And considering it's a 3-hour movie, you're always going to find something that you didn't catch before. There are a few extras and stuff in the movie that I was shit, I know where you're from. I know where you're from. I know where you're from. And then there were other parts of smaller roles of people coming in. I was I forgot you were in the damn movie.
Yeah, it's an absolute absolutely stacked cast, and there's a little cameo from Jordan Belfort himself.
Just the lineup of this movie is absurd. Some of them kind of at the beginning of their career, others have already started to find their stride. Mm-hmm. And then, Leo, of course, being the absolute powerhouse that he is.
Yeah, Leo is Jordan Belfort. We got Jonah Hill, who I just think is so fucking funny in this.
Yeah.
This is my favorite. Is it this? And when he is in a cameo in Django Unchained, I think, are his funniest roles. I love Superbad, but he's so funny in this.
It almost feels like he's not hamming it up as much in this film as he is in other ones. I think the only other exception or other thing that I can connect in that way, other movie that he's done, is probably War Dogs, where he doesn't feel like he's hamming it up, but he's still very funny in that movie, even though there's a bunch of serious shit going on around him. I think those are the two where I'm like, oh yeah, this is like good acting on his part.
Yeah, he's so good. I wish he would get back to that because he had like a nice little streak in around here in Moneyball.
Mm-hmm. He's great in Moneyball too.
We've got Margot Robbie is Naomi. This is just a fun fact I found. So Olivia Wilde auditioned to be Naomi, and she was deemed too old at 28.
So funny.
And the age gap of the actors was 9 years between Leo and Olivia, but it's 16 between Leo and Robbie. But the real age gap between Nadine, who's the real Naomi, and Jordan Belfort is 6 years.
Uh-huh.
So somehow the 9-year gap from Leo was not enough. That is so crazy.
Interesting. Very weird. Maybe they just wanted to find an excuse to, or maybe this was a little bit of Leo going, hey.
Excuse me. I actually don't talk to women over 25.
Yeah. We should go a little younger. Maybe we should do that.
Old lady out of my face.
Yeah. Ew, gross. 25. Ew, gross. Let's go for younger. No, how old was she in this movie?
22.
Jesus.
Yeah. This is like I think this is, if not her first, one of her first American roles, because she was on a soap in Australia. But this is like the one I heard about Margot Robbie was this movie.
Yeah, this is the one that, to be honest, most guys know her from. This is the one that everyone's going to be like, oh yeah, that's her, right? But this is when I feel like Margot started to, like, people really started to pay attention. And there's an obvious direct through line between her in this role and her getting Harley Quinn. I mean, it's very obvious that that's exactly why she got Harley Quinn. And I'm kind of glad that she did. But, yeah.
Yeah, she for sure was the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
And not even close. Then we have Matthew McConaughey as Mark Hanna, Kyle Chandler as the FBI agent Patrick Denham, Rob Reiner, rest in peace, as Max Belfort, Bernthal as Brad, Jon Favreau as Manny, Jean Dujardin as, my gosh, this is a whole French name.
Jean Chouel?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah, Joanna Lumley is Aunt Emma. And this is also a fun fact I found out. Originally, they offered it to Julie Andrews, who was gonna do it, but then she was off in an injury.
That would have been great.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been fantastic. I would have loved that.
That would have been...
She would have offered something a little extra to that.
Yes, it would have been phenomenal to watch Maria sneak a bunch of cash into Switzerland.
Yeah, man, that would have been great. That sucks.
I know. I was like kind of bummed to hear that too. There wasn't a ton I found on the production. There was some like DVD special features and stuff, but it sounds like everybody just had like a fucking awesome time making this movie.
How could you not? Like this film is insane, right? As I was watching it this time around, because I had seen it several times, and it's been a while. It's probably been about 5 or 6 years since I've seen it. And watching it again, knowing a little bit more about film than I did back in 5 or 6 years ago, I was like, this had to be a fucking nightmare to film. Like an absolute nightmare, but also the best fucking time ever. Like, it had to be insane to deal with. An absolute fever dream to deal with.
Yeah, they're pretty much all partying for all of it.
Yeah, it's literally just a massive fucking party for maybe 3 months of their lives, of them just going crazy and going insane. And I don't know how you'd be able to do that and keep a straight face and do everything and be professional. I mean, granted, they are professionals, so they know what they're doing, but my God, how would that not be extremely hard to kind of rein it all in after all that time of just partying? Yeah, I mean, it goes to show that people wanted to show up for Marty, though.
And there's just so many heavy hitters in this film. Like, I can't imagine what it was like to like sit on a set with like basically the driving force behind all of Marvel. And Rob Reiner and Leo being directed by Martin Scorsese. Like, I think I would black out if I was somebody else, just like a person on that set. Shooting took about 5 months, it says here, across New York and New Jersey.
Yeah. I wonder where they shot their like more international spots when they were trying to portray like Italy and stuff, because I didn't know if they were actually in Italy or if they were anywhere else. I'm looking at like some of the trivia and stuff to see if they shot anywhere, but it don't say nothing.
I don't know. Just here, all I had listed was New York and New Jersey, but that's not an exhaustive list.
No.
Film made $406 million on a $116 million budget. I remember everyone I knew either watched it or talked about it.
Seems low to me, though. I figured that would be at least north of 500.
But it's a hard R movie.
I mean, true, yeah. So it'd be a hard sell. But it's also Marty Scorsese and Leo.
It's got a 4.0 on Letterboxd. I have it as a 5 out of 5. And my Letterboxd joke is, did I hate it? Absolutely fucking not. What do you rate it out of 5?
I gave it a 4.5 this time around.
Mm-hmm.
I want to read my actual thing, my actual quote that I did, and then I'll explain it a little bit if I have to.
Mm-hmm.
But because I did like a little jokey thing, I didn't really do like a massive review. I think Leo is the only actor that I can think of that can act disabled, and I'm not even slightly put off by it. Because not only did it do it here, but he did it in Gilbert Grape. And
oh, good.
By the way, I didn't realize that was Leo when I watched Gilbert Grape for the first time.
Yeah.
And then I noticed it after the fact, and I was like, what? I was like, that's Leonardo DiCaprio? And my stepdad at the time was like, yeah, dude. I'm like, that's fucking insane.
So good. So good.
It's absurd.
I also gave Dustin Hoffman a pass.
Yeah.
Because he's like the first. So I'm like, and as somebody, like, because I have autism, I'm like, not offended.
No, even as a guy with cerebral palsy, like they obviously, it's one of the big like running jokes in this movie. And I was like, I don't care. Like just the way he was just like, his muscles are not fucking working. They're all stiffened up, and because that's basically what severe cerebral palsy is. Like your muscles are very like stiffened up. You can't really control a lot of your muscle function if you have severe cerebral palsy, and he just fucking killed it. And I was just like, you know what, I'll leave him alone. I can't say anything about that. I can't complain. They did it justice. So what?
Yeah, he's so good in it. He's so funny. Like that whole like, I mean, we'll get to it too, but that whole Quaalude extended scene is just like unfucking believable. Like,
yeah, and it's just painfully slow too. And I know they did that on purpose because I'm sure they're sitting there going, okay, we could probably cut this down. And then after watching it, they're like, no, just let it sit for a minute. And honestly, if it didn't sit, I don't think it would be as good. If they decided to edit it and chop it to where it looked like he was making progress as opposed to letting it play out, like, I don't think it would be as effective. And it was kind of one of those things you're like, I'm sitting here just kind of cringing a little bit, but I'm also like, this is funny as hell. And it shouldn't be. But
I love it when you see him like roll down the stairs and it looks so dramatic, and then they cut to like the back shot from like audience point of view, and it's literally like 3 fucking steps.
Yeah. And it's not much at all. And it's even better whenever he is sitting there doing that inner monologue, or like the monologue to the people, being like, yeah, I didn't hit anything. I was going as slow as possible when I was driving my car. It was perfect. I don't know how I got to it. And then a few minutes later, his car is completely destroyed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is perfect execution on their part. Because otherwise, it would not be as funny. Because if they just showed it the first time around, it would have been funny, but nowhere near as funny as it was had they just done it the way they did it, obviously.
Absolutely. So I always quote Roger Ebert. He gave it 3.5 out of 4. As often in Scorsese films, it gives alpha male posturing the attraction repulsion treatment, serving up the drugging and the whoring and the getting over as both spectacle and a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
For me on this one, I think it, even now as an adult watching it, I don't get a ton of vibes of cautionary tale from the film.
No.
I'm just like, that looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, you're telling.
Yeah.
Off by it.
Like Goodfellas, we get much more about like high and then a low. We're like, okay, you're on drugs and egg noodles and ketchup and you gotta move and it's a whole fucking thing. But Jordan, you're just making speeches now? That seems okay.
No, yeah. I'm getting paid, thousands a head just to go fucking bullshit it up for an hour and a half to 2 hours. No, my life sucks.
Yeah, that's terrible. I'm just gonna grab.
Not to mention he got to keep a lot of his wealth, if I'm not mistaken.
For sure he did. And also, Jordan Belfort himself really liked the movie. He basically said that it was an oversimplification of what happened with the business, but he liked it.
I'm sure that there was a lot more involved, and it was probably a lot more boring during the reality of it all. But then again, that doesn't really sell. So they've got to glamorize it a little bit. And I'm sure he did a lot of the things that we saw on screen, but the legal process was probably far more grueling and just kind of annoying and boring, to be
Yeah.
honest.
And
Which I respect.
it's based off his book, I believe. Yeah, Jordan Belfort, to quote, that his actual habits were much worse than depicted on the film, and he was on 22 different drugs at the end.
Jesus Christ. That's so
I just don't
many.
know how his kidneys are still working, or his liver.
How's his brain still working? How did he not, just go into this weird coma or just go brain dead? How is this man functioning at all?
No idea.
One line of coke and I would be dead. I would be gone. My heart would explode. It would be over for me.
I mean, I was fun
Jesus.
once upon a time, but now I would die. Now I'm I
Yeah.
have 3 cups of coffee. I'm like, I think I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah.
But
No,
and he would have been our age or older probably during this film in real life.
yeah, because it was set in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm guessing he was 20,
He's
22,
22
I
or
think is
something in
whenever
the
he said in the
beginning.
beginning. Yeah.
Fuck, sorry. That was upsetting realization.
Yeah, we're actually older than he was when he had billions of dollars.
Yeah, that's
That's so fucking cool, man. It makes me feel great about my life. I mean,
feel
at least I can't say that I have gone to jail. I can't say that. I have a lot less money than that, which sucks, but, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, other than that's kind of painful.
yeah, it hurts.
Yeah.
This was nominated for 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, which lost to 12 Years a Slave. I think it would not have gone over well if Wolf of Wall Street beat 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, optically, probably not.
This is also this is a good year for movies. It's 12 Years a Slave, American Hustle, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, Nebraska, Wolf of Wall Street.
That is a pretty stacked. Yeah, it's a pretty stacked lineup there. But honestly, I I don't see the issue with it beating out 12 Years a Slave. I mean, as far as everything that's going on screen, it probably took far more skill to shoot this movie than it did 12 Years a Slave, if I'm being honest. Just because there was so much going on. Imagine trying to pull that off and being essentially the one guy, having to rein all that in.
Well, he actually loses Best Director to Alfonso Cuarón for Gravity.
Which, again,
which is nuts. I think this is better than Gravity. Way better.
Yeah, by far. And I'm not just saying that because, I really like this movie, but it just, again, it comes down to the technical aspect of the entire movie and being able to keep it all straight and a good movie. You've got so many heavy hitters and they're all on their fucking A game. Kristen Milioti is even on her A game and she's barely in the damn movie. She's in it for maybe all of 10 minutes of screen time and she's killing it. It's hard for me to sit there and be like, oh yeah, these other movies deserved, the accolades that they got when you got something like Wolf of Wall Street. And I think the only reason it didn't win as much as it did is because of that NC-17 hard R rating. I think maybe the Academy was afraid it would set a precedent that, if this got as much recognition as it should have, that people would start to really push the envelope when it comes to filmmaking and we'd be looking at more, out there movies.
Well, now we've got it. Honora for 2025 is this is way softer than Honora.
Is it to you?
I think so.
You think so?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't. But
different, I guess. It's probably the same. There's slightly more sex in Honora, I guess.
Really?
It's quite a bit.
There's far more bodies in.
There's more bodies here. That's true.
There's far more bodies in Wolf of Wall Street.
Numbers of people. That's true.
There are multiple orgies going on in Wolf of Wall Street. To be fair,
yeah, but a good portion of Honora is in a strip club. So
true.
But if we're going on sheer runtime for sheer amount of minutes of nakedness, probably Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
and plus the world record for the amount of times fuck is said in a movie. It is, I think, 569 times, which is 2.81 times per minute.
The funny thing is that I say fuck so often that didn't faze me.
No, I didn't register it much either, to be honest.
It was just all right, it's another word. It didn't faze me.
No,
I think the drugs and alcohol got me more than the fuck did. Where I was like, oh, that looks fun. Can't do that anymore.
That looks great. I'd die.
Yeah.
Best actor, Leo loses to Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club. I'm kind of fine with that. Jonah Hill loses to Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club, which I think is atrocious. I think
In
Jonah
many
Hill's
ways. In many ways. Especially what we know this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he definitely should have beat out Jared Leto for what was it, supporting, right? You said?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he killed it. Like, there's no doubt about it. Who else was in that category?
We've got, maybe this guy should have won. Barkhad Abdi from Captain Phillips. I lied. That's who should have won.
Yeah.
He should have won for sure. But then we have Bradley Cooper for American Hustle, Michael Fassbender, 12 Years a Slave, and Jonah Hill.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad lineup. I
definitely think that Bradley Cooper is probably like the weakest link, but even then, I really like American Hustle a lot. He's good in it.
He was pretty good in that movie. I'm not gonna lie. But Christian Bale was in that too. I forgot.
I love anything Christian Bale's in. I'm sat.
100%.
I'd be there. I'm like, what are you gonna do now? We never know.
I know. Get back in that bat suit. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, he's our best Batman.
By far.
We then have Best Writing for Best Original Screenplay loses to Her, Spike Jonze, who is ironically in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. Yeah, funnily enough.
And then what's our last one? I think there's one more.
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
It's not nominated for Best Score, which I think is
crazy. Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah. The score's great. It complements it, really well. Like, there's some movies out there where the score doesn't really fit, but because you don't necessarily notice it too much, you realize that it fits really well with this damn movie.
And it's not nominated for production design, which again I think is crazy.
Wild.
And not makeup and hairstyling, which again is crazy because it's so hard to do the 1980s and not look like you're trying to do the 1980s. And this is what wins is this is the three big nominees for makeup and hairstyling. We've got Dallas Buyers Club wins. We've got Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa and The Lone Ranger.
Yeah, no, you could have at least put. I mean, I can kind of understand why each of them got a nom, other than Dallas Buyers Club. But
I think that's for Jared Leto specifically, probably.
Yeah, but even then, like, if you look at even Bad Grandpa had more fucking makeup and hairstyling in it than Dallas Buyers Club did. I mean, they did like basically a full prosthetic. Like, they did a lot for him to do that and be that. Even the Lone Ranger had a hell of a lot more involved with the makeup and hairstyling. So I don't understand why they couldn't at least throw it in there as a fourth nominee. I don't understand why that one only has 3 spots. That doesn't make sense to me when there's like 6 spots for all the other categories. It's very strange. And the fact that like you were saying, Alfonso got that is insane to me.
Yeah, and then there's also, it wasn't nominated in Best Film Editing, which I also think is crazy. It went to Gravity, which is, the editing in this film was half of the reason the film is so funny.
Yeah, because they would just do hard cuts to like whatever the joke is. Like specifically the Quaalude scene, right, that I was talking about, hard cut to the car being fucked up, right? If they would have just did it slightly differently, it wouldn't have hit the same. So the fact that it didn't get any sort of editing nom to me is crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I feel like is highway robbery.
A wee bit. Yeah.
Is it Thelma, I think?
Schumacher? A lot of Marty's stuff. I think, if not most of Marty's stuff, no?
Yeah, this woman's, she did Raging Bull, King of Comedy, Color of Money, the Michael Jackson Bad music video, Goodfellas, Cape Fear, Casino, Bring Out Your Dead, Gangs of New York, Aviator, The Departed, Shutter Island, Hugo, Wolf of Wall Street, Letters to Baghdad, The Irishman, Killers of the Flower Moon. And she's currently editing his new film. How old is this?
Up there, I'm guessing. She's going to be in her 70s. 86?
86.
All right, chick. All right, chicka. Like, kill it.
She was like,
holy,
in her late 70s editing this.
Can you? Oh my God, wait, that
what
just.
A vibe.
Could you imagine? Oh my God, being a 70-year-old woman editing that movie.
She's seen some shit. I think
she's seen more in that editing room than most people have in their entire life. Holy shit.
So much Leonardo DiCaprio, but so funny.
I have a lot of respect for people who can edit movies like this because it is so crazy and so absurd. Whoever can direct something this large and this insane and something on this scale, I was thinking about the party scene in the beginning of Babylon as well. Whenever I was rewatching this, because Margot's obviously in that, and it was a lot of the same kind of scale when it came to a lot of the party scenes in Wolf of Wall Street. And the fact that people can even do that and rein that in and get it to be cohesive and smooth is a very impressive thing to do. Because I imagine that is not an easy thing to do.
I can't even imagine having this entire like vision in your head and then trying to communicate that with the hundreds of people that worked on that film, let alone have the vision of a 3-hour picture like this in your brain anyway. It's just, I mean, this is something that you can tell is like he's a veteran director.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we're going to jump into the plot. I just want to read the first line of the film because I think it's really sets up the film nicely. My name is Jordan Belfort. I'm a former member of the middle class raised by 2 accountants in a tiny apartment in Bayside, Queens. The year I turned 26 as the head of my own brokerage firm, I made $49 million, which really pissed me off because it was 3 shy of $1 million a week.
What a line.
Yeah.
26, by the way, makes you just want to walk into traffic. It just really, really makes you just want to jump off a building. Like,
Totally.
to have that much money in a year, come on, dude. At 26, I wasn't even making fucking 28 grand, 24 grand a year at fucking 26.
Yeah, I think 26, I was on maternity leave for most of that, so I was not pulling in tons of money, whatever they pay us for maternity leave up here. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think it was 1,100 every 2 weeks the last time I had a baby, so I don't know if it's changed.
Not terrible, but not great.
Better than what you guys get.
Absolutely settle. Yeah, no.
which is crazy. But
yeah.
yeah, and then I just also feel like this movie is like one of the most like memeable films of all time. Like the staying power of like both the memes and then like there's like right now the one of the lines the like $26,000 for one fucking dinner is like going around as like a wedding TikTok sound right now.
Was it really? Yeah, I'm not really on TikTok, so I didn't know that was a thing. That's funny.
I mean, don't start if you can help yourself because it is a dark hole.
That's precisely why I didn't get back on it, because I was on TikTok for a minute and I wasn't posting anything, but I was like using it as a form of entertainment, and then I saw how dark it was and I was just like, I'm not with it. I'm good. Like, I like dark shit, but like this is a whole nother level of like being an asshole for no reason. So I was like, I'm good. I got off of there. I did notice, one of the, the obvious, those were rookie numbers. I forgot the context of that.
Yeah, I forgot I was masturbating.
Of that line. And like, as he was saying it, I was like, right. I'm like, that's why you said that. I'm like, okay, that gives it a whole nother like level of funny.
Yeah, I watched this. I don't actually think my husband had seen this when we watched it. We watched it when I was competing after I had my like spray tan on, but I couldn't move. So I was like, we need something to kill time. Wolf of Wall Street it is. And like he was afterwards, he was like, this was debaucherous. We need like a palate cleanser. And then we watched it was like Toy Story 2 to like re-level ourselves out. We're like, Jesus.
Funny thing is I watched this and like for the rest of the day I've just been watching documentaries, so I'm like, I don't know if like this did something to me today where I spent 3 hours watching this and I'm automatically like, hey, let's just go watch like murder shit for the rest of the day. What's going on with me? Like,
gone off the deep end.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, this is another line that I love so much too. Like this is from the beginning, like just to like set the scene. On a daily basis, I consume enough drugs to sedate Manhattan, Long Island, and Queens for a month. I take Quaaludes 10 to 15 times a day for my back pain, Adderall to stay focused, Xanax to take the edge off, pot to mellow me out, cocaine to wake me back up again, and morphine, well, because it's awesome.
That last one he's not entirely wrong about. Had that on surgery, it's great.
Can confirm.
Yeah.
When I had my daughter, I did the first like 30 hours with no drugs because I was going to be one of those. And then we got to the hospital and I was like, I need drugs.
Yeah.
And then they shot me full of morphine in my hip. And I like told my midwife, I was like, I can see why people ruin their lives for this. I'm like, this is amazing. She wouldn't give me any more morphine.
Oh yeah. No, I think it was my knee surgery that I had it, because I've had multiple, but I had my knee surgery and I was in high school at the time, and I go and they give me a morphine drip. So I go and like have it. I click it once or twice, and I'm just sitting there like I feel like for the first time in my life I feel like no pain, which is not something that I'm used to at all as a crippled kid. And I was like, this feels fucking fantastic. Apparently I took enough to where I should be asleep, but I was sitting there like reading Game of Thrones and watching the Home Run Derby at the same time. And they were like, how are you awake right now? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know, but this feels fantastic. And they were like, what? And they're like, we're gonna slow down. I was like, okay.
We're gonna lock you out of this. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, you're not gonna touch the button anymore. We will touch it when it's necessary. I'm like, all right, fair enough.
They're like, I get it. But yeah, I totally feel you. My joke is that the happiest moment of my life was not when my daughter was born, but when I got shot with the morphine.
I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, this film is just like, it's so hard to, it is like the plot is actually fairly, for a 3-hour movie, there isn't like a ton within the plot, to be honest. It's like basically watching like Jordan Belfort's like ascension into just like the most egregious amount of money possible with like a few little hiccups, but nothing too crazy. And then, yeah, because we see his affair from his first wife at the beginning, which is rough because you're like, you know what? I just feel like any husband might actually leave you for Margot Robbie.
Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to, as a guy, yeah. Like, what do you want me to say there? I mean, is Margot Robbie. But then again, also, you're married to Kristen Milioti or someone who looks exactly like Kristen Milioti.
I think, I think I'm getting dumped pretty quick. I think if Margot Robbie is like, hey.
Yeah.
I don't think it's happening. Like, I don't really think my husband is Margot Robbie's type in particular. Like, I think I'm pretty safe, but I do know that I'm one meeting away from that at all times.
It's at least like an eyebrow raise away from being like, oh no. Like,
yeah. But yeah, so we've got like, there's that. And then pretty much it's just Jordan spending money for like the entire film.
Hey, people say capitalism is bad. It looks fun as fuck to me.
It looks great if you have the money.
Right. And he just has, like he said, a fuck ton of it.
So much.
Like, it's absurd.
The yacht alone, I was like, I can't even fathom a world in which I could afford that boat, let alone like anything else.
Bro, that boat is at least, in 1980s, it's at least like 20 million.
That I can't even register like the amount of money that would be like now. Or like how much money you would need to like even, like how much does that cost to just move the boat? Like that's a lot in just fuel.
A lot. And then to have a helipad on the damn thing. He's like, oh yeah, I extended it to put a helipad on there so I can land my helicopter on it. I'm like, fuck you. You know, just fuck you. Like you can, no, it's not fair.
No, for sure.
How dare
I'm like,
you?
If this isn't the greatest ad for like why socialism isn't that bad, because we can't have this, but yeah, it was just, but at the same time, it's so hard because you're like, I know this is supposed to be a cautionary tale and this is like an evil man, but my God, do I want to party with him? I do see how this monster was created and how all these people were influenced by him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's like a cult leader in his own created cult, and they're all, following him like, a bunch of, I don't even know what to call them, but yeah, they're all just following him like a lost puppy dog. So that's what I was looking for. And they're all just having a blast. Like, no one's like really getting hurt, in the beginning, right? No one's really getting hurt. Everyone's kind of in it together. They're all doing it, quote unquote, consensually, even though they're all fucked up the entire time. And then it gets really dark near the end. But that first little beginning and somewhat in the middle, it looks fantastically fun.
And I also think it's like pretty much like not only like this negates it or whatever, but like it's like Jordan's immediate, like his wife and children that suffer, but the work stuff still looks pretty. I'm like, that looks fun.
No, like
like, I'll fly to Switzerland with Benjamin's taped to my boobs. That's not done.
Who wouldn't? What kind of that's got to be a powerful fucking feeling, right? Like that's gonna be like, do you know how much money I have on my body right now? It's fucking nuts. No, that would be fun. I can understand like how bad that would be on the family for sure.
Oh, yeah.
That's got to be absolutely atrocious for anyone who's trying to have a family and not really seemingly care how it affects that family unit and the strength of like their relationships together. Because throwing caution to the wind is not even the right phrase for it. He was, doing all kinds of shit that most people wouldn't even fathom thinking about doing, and doing it with ease, and just didn't care.
The bachelor party alone was like the most there's like, it was so fucked. I'm like I can't even, like, what? I'm like, most women are like a little panicked that their fiance is gonna go to like a strip club. I'm like, can you imagine?
Like, most women, from what I hear, like, upset at the idea of possibly seeing a titty.
Yeah,
Like, he was like, no, I'm gonna, like, bring all of them to my room.
with
And
my
then we're
friend.
just, yeah, with my friends, and none of us are gonna be clothed the entire time. And the amount of drugs that are gonna be going through all of our bodies is going to be absurd.
Yeah,
And then
it's
I'm gonna have
just,
to pay $2 million to renovate an entire, whatever floor of an entire hotel.
and then shoot everyone up with as much penicillin as possible in case anybody got chlamydia.
Hey, at least he was prepared. I'll give him that. At least he
It's
came prepared with the penicillin.
so crazy. It's just such a, like, I'm like, wow, there's some people just like really live in a totally different life where I'm like, maybe if I work really hard, I can save up and get those Hillary Duff tickets. Like, you're just renovating floors for a whim.
Right. Hopefully these 70mm Odyssey tickets don't fucking break the bank. You
Yeah.
know? And you're just
Is that what
like,
you saw
all
the
right.
Odyssey in?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
seeing it again in September as well. I just bought the tickets today.
In IMAX?
Yeah, IMAX 70mm, yeah. Where the theater that's like 10 minutes down the road from me is the only one in the state of Georgia that has IMAX 70mm. So I was like, hell yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's great for me. It's both a blessing and a curse.
I saw it in just like our regular, like, small town theater. And then I'm going again on Monday to a slightly bigger theater, but not an IMAX, because the IMAX that we have is in like the museum here. And they pretty much just show National Geographic stuff. So
That's sad.
pretty great. And it's still like an hour and a half away from my house.
Damn, that's rough. That's really rough.
But it's fine. But I will never ever comment about the Odyssey on the internet ever again. Like, that was like the most hate I've received in my life on the internet.
What? Are you serious?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
My first like thoughts on it, sidebar, were that I liked it. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5, but like every Christopher Nolan movie I've ever watched, I'm like, this doesn't really hit emotionally for me, and the women have nothing to do.
Yeah, I get that. I get that entirely.
Except for Cersei, she was great. And like, the performances were good. The women were good with what they were given, but they were pretty decorative. I was like,
well, Calypso from... Go ahead.
She was boring. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, she's keeping him captive. You'd stripped the interesting bit out of her.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, from what I hear, like, in the actual story, because I didn't get to that part before I went and saw it, like, she was, like, basically raping him the entire time he was there. Like, every day that he was there. And I was like, why didn't they include that? Like, I can see optically why they wouldn't, but also, why didn't they include that? It would have made it very more interesting to see the turmoil on his mind as he was there.
Yeah, and because otherwise it doesn't make sense that he's there for so long. Like, she's keeping him hostage, and like Helen also is like, has like a much more magical quality where she kind of senses there's something wrong with the Trojan horse in the poems too. And so I was like, hey, why are the women written in the 3,000-year-old poem a little more well-rounded? However, I loved it. It didn't stop me from loving the movie. I'm going to see it again in theaters. Like, I gave it a 4.5, and holy shit, did I get my throat just like come for by Nolan Bros.
That's wild. That's weird.
And then the next day I posted a video about unrelated, like, I was just like, my top 5 favorite Nolan films, rated them, whatever. And then I had more people in the comments being like, accusing me of being like a film bro, and like some guy called me a mouth breather. I was like, what?
What in the world?
Yeah, a mouth breathing artard. And I was like, that's crazy, dude.
That's insane. That's nuts.
And they were like, what else? He was like, oh, you like this woke movie? I'm like, this is not a woke movie. And
It's actually very far from it.
I was like, a man discovers in his 50s that his actions have consequences. This is not woke.
No.
You watch this man discover in real time in his 50s that maybe his actions affect other people. It is the first scene of this kicking in.
Yeah, that's literally the entire movie, and people are not able to connect with that at all.
It's so crazy. I was like, I don't understand how I got hate from both sides of this for giving a positive reaction to a movie. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid is going to happen with Brand New Day as well. Whenever I go see it tomorrow and like people start really talking about it, I'm afraid that the Spider-Man and Marvel community is going to go nuts if anyone looks at it negatively in any way, but
Which
we'll
is
see.
nuts.
Yeah.
I do love the Tom Holland Spider-Mans.
I do too. I think he's
They're
really
really
good.
good.
Yeah, I think he's a really good Spider-Man. I'll give him that. Kind of hard to say that he isn't.
Yeah. I still think Spider-Man, like the original series, Spider-Man 2 is still my like very favorite of all the
Just love me some
Spider-Mans.
Toby.
Yeah. That and then Into the Spider-Verse is my second
Yeah,
favorite.
those are solid too.
Just the first one. I haven't seen the second one.
No, I gotcha.
There's a second one, right?
Yeah, there's
There's
supposed
so
to be a
many.
third, but
There's so many movies. I have a really hard time trying to get it all in.
there's so many, it's insane.
Sorry on that Odyssey tangent for them.
This is what happens when you talk about movies. You make connections, you start saying things, and it just fucking goes off the rails.
Oh my God, my friend Harry and I, we were supposed to be doing Casablanca. I think we talked about Casablanca for 6 minutes of like an hour and a half podcast.
And that's like a 2-hour movie, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly.
We're like, yeah, but let's talk about Judy Garland in Star is Born for 40 minutes.
Wow.
It was funny. We talked about the Quaaludes. I'm trying to think about all the things we need to talk about.
I do want to say, like, a lot of the people who are not necessarily as front-facing in this film, like all the supporting roles, superbly done. Like, Matthew McConaughey, even for the 5 to 6 minutes that he's in this movie, like, he sets the tone perfectly because it's very much in the beginning of the movie. And so you kind of see, like, a mirror of what Jordan can possibly become. And, like, this is the base of what Jordan can become. And then he just exponentially worse by like tenfold of what Matthew McConaughey is. And I think that's kind of cool that they set that up pretty early. And there's no weird way in the writing to where it's like, oh yeah, you see this, like this is kind of what he's heading towards. Because some movies nowadays, that's kind of what they do. They lean very heavily and try to be heavy-handed. But as an audience member, if you're paying attention, you can kind of understand that, oh yeah, this is like the person that Jordan is trying to become. And then he just takes off. And I like that a lot.
Yeah, and he's like, it's interesting because he's like horrified by obviously some of the conversations and the behavior, and that this guy's doing like cocaine at lunch. And then you just see Jordan do like the most debaucherous shit, like not 30 minutes later.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome.
I think my favorite like supporting character, like sub-supporting character, I guess, was for sure Rob Reiner as his dad. As Matt. He's so fucking funny. He's so funny.
And
he's so good.
That phone call, like whenever in the beginning, when they were introducing him, right? And he's going and watching TV. And he's like blowing it up, just rah, 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 and the quick hello, like the so fast like switch up, it's seamless switch up on the phone. I was like, this is why you're so fucking good at this. And I was like, very sad to see Rob Reiner in this movie and know that he is no longer with us.
I know. It was like a real bummer when I watched it too. I was like, oh my God, and you didn't even get to die of anything like old age.
No.
Just like the most heinous thing possible.
Another connection that I can make in that regard is like watching Poetic Justice for the first time a couple days ago. And then seeing Tupac actually do a very good job as an actor.
Yeah.
And then be like, fuck, dude.
He's dead.
He's gone. Like, we can't see anything else of him and like where that possibility of acting could have led him, which sucked because I would have loved to see like what he would have done in that avenue outside of music. Because I honestly think he would have been really good as an actor if he like kept going with it and kept doing it. I think he could have actually done really well.
Will Smith did for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just incredibly, incredibly talented. Yeah. I get that feeling when I watch Last Crusade with River Phoenix and I'm like, man, you were so good.
Yeah. Yeah. It really sucks whenever you watch a movie like that and you're like, oh shit. You're like, oh, thank God I get to see you do this, but also, oh shit, I wish I could see you do more. That's
always my first thought if I see like a dog in an old movie. I'm like, that dog's dead now. Like, why did you just think that?
It's such a dark and twisted thing to think, but it's also like, that's obviously where the brain's gonna go, right? Like, anytime you watch Marley and Me now, you're like, oh, that dog is actually dead now, too. Like, that's the worst part, is that it's dead in the movie and now dead in real life. Fuck. Okay.
Oh my God, you're able to do that movie more than once. I saw it in the theater and I was like, I've got it. I don't need to see this again.
Yeah, we owned it on DVD and it was one of those movies that was kind of just stuck in the minivan that had a little player in it. So it was kind of just constantly going and I became desensitized at least to that movie.
Yeah.
after a while. Where I was like, okay, I can at least watch this and kind of be okay with it. It's not so great when it happens in other movies, but with this one, I'll give it a pass because I've seen it so many times.
Yeah, like even Homeward Bound, like when I know that Shadow is fine and he's gonna come over the hill, that still fucking gets me. I'm like, I've seen this movie like 200 times. Get it together.
Yep. Where the Red Fern Grows still gets me in that way sometimes. I remember very vividly being in 5th grade or 4th grade and my teacher reading it to us. And she is like this biker chick, right? Like tatted up like crazy, even in like as a 4th grade teacher, she was tatted up. She was like this someone that you would consider like really tough on the outside, right? She was reading Where the Red Fern Grows and just bawling her eyes out. And I was like, oh no, as soon as I see this movie, I know I'm screwed. And sure enough, as soon as I saw the movie, bawling.
I'm decently worried. I just started reading Charlotte's Web to my daughter, and I'm like, this is gonna be a rough one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no.
Good luck.
I know she's not forgiven me for Bambi yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's a rough one too.
Because I've got a Bambi tattoo sleeve, and she makes me wear a sweater around her.
Really? That's
Yeah.
so.
She's like, I don't want to look at that.
That's so funny, actually.
She's 4. She's like, Bambi makes me sad with a sweater.
No, you're probably sitting there thinking, I spent fucking so much money to get this done. Now I can't even show it off around you.
She's getting a little better. I've had this done for a couple months now, so she's like, okay, like a little more. But for the first like month, it was like a no-go. She'd like burst into tears. I'm like, girl, I'm so sorry.
It's actually an awesome sleeve. I think that's a really
Thank you.
cool
I'm a
thing
big
sleeve.
fan.
That's dope. That's dope. I'm a sucker for tattoos though, anyway.
I'm like absolutely like covered.
I'm too much of a pansy to get one right now. I want one, but I'm such a pansy.
It's not that bad. It's
Yeah.
just start with your arms.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Yeah.
The arms are like the top of your thigh, like doesn't really hurt that much. My back hurt like a motherfucker, but
I can imagine.
that
Yeah,
was not a good time.
I imagine that.
But yeah. Any final thoughts on The Wolf of Wall Street before we wrap up today?
No, other than I really liked this movie. I still like this movie. It never really feels like a quintessential Martin Scorsese film because I keep forgetting that it is a Martin Scorsese film half the time. I don't know why that happens to me. I guess mostly because I equate Martin Scorsese directly to like something of mafia related stuff.
Gangsters, yeah.
And even like with Killers of the Flower Moon, I keep forgetting that it's Martin Scorsese and it's like his most recent one, right? I love this movie from the beginning to the end. It's one of those that I can throw on and watch it multiple times. And like I said in the beginning, catch things that I didn't before and still have a good fucking time, even, years later or after the 4th or 5th time watching it. I don't have a lot of qualms about it. There's some movies that like after a decade plus, there's definitely like signs of like problems with the movie. I didn't really have any issues. Like it still aged well to me. It didn't age like milk to me. It kind of aged like fine wine. And yeah, I would watch it several times over.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like when we were looking back at the Academy Awards, none of those films I think are at all in conversation ever. And Wolf of Wall Street is still like 13 years later, like one of the most quoted films that like everybody knows at least some of the lines. And yeah, this is my like if I want something good and that's high quality and I got like a rainy Sunday but I don't want to cry, this is often what I'll throw on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for Leo performances, and that is what I have learned most in my summer of Scorsese is that I am actually just a big Leonardo DiCaprio fan.
Hard not to be, honestly.
Hot take, Leonardo DiCaprio is like a really good actor.
Yeah. All the way back from Gilbert Grape to now.
Yeah. Oh, there's a funny episode of him and Tobey Maguire on Roseanne. I like made me die when I saw it.
Really?
Yeah,
I
the
gotta watch
original
that.
Roseanne. They play like Becky. They're like when Roseanne's still working at that restaurant in the mall, and they're like kids at a table, and Becky's like embarrassed that Roseanne exists.
I've seen several episodes of the original Roseanne, and I don't remember that at all. I'm gonna have to go back and see if I can find that episode. And
I'd be like
see what it's like.
season 2 or 3.
Interesting.
Back before she was nuts, and that was the greatest show ever.
Well, yeah, I think Leo is just one of those guys that he's just timeless from beginning to end in his career. Like anything that he does, he touches, it turns to fucking gold, man. Even The Great Gatsby. Great Gatsby isn't a fantastic movie, but him as an actor in The Great Gatsby, is great.
I think the fault of that movie is DiCaprio.
No,
I don't think I've ever seen a Leonardo DiCaprio performance where I was like, he's bad. There's like other things in the movie where I was like, oh, this wasn't great, but like it's never him specifically.
I I've got
The
to say,
issue.
like, genuinely, his best performance is probably Gilbert Grape. Like, absurd. I don't. It's one of those that like I can't be upset at
Mm-hmm.
because it's so convincing as that I'm like I ain't got nothing for you other than damn.
And then also, like, there is no edge of it that feels like either mockery or like mimicry at all. Like, and it's the same thing. Like, I was reading like how much time he puts into that kind of stuff. Like, when I've actually been doing so much research on Howard Hughes for our upcoming
Yeah,
episode. I like dove off a cliff with There in the Aviator, but like he spent like a full year researching obsessive compulsive disorder for The Aviator and like
really.
talking with people, like wanting to be like, we only have this like one vision of it in the media, this like, you're really clean or whatever stuff, but like that's not what the disorder is. And he learned so much about it because he's like, I don't want to play this guy in a way that feels like I'm making fun of him or I'm just doing like a carbon copy of what everybody thinks OCD is.
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm assuming he did the same thing for Gilbert Grape.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I feel like he may have been channeling a little bit of Gilbert Grape whenever he was doing this movie too. At least that Quaalude scene. I think
Yeah.
he channeled it just a wee bit. And he probably went back in the archives and was like, "Ooh, I could probably pull this off pretty easily."
I was funny. That scene reminded me so much of like, for whatever reason, like not that scene, but the scene where they're on the boat and he's like, I will not die sober. Made me think so much of like One Battle After Another with Ghetto Pat when they're like trying to get organized and he can't fucking figure it out at all with the phone call. Like, oh, this is the same energy. This is the same character right here.
Yep. And I was like, whenever I heard that line, I was like, "Oh yeah, I related to that like 2 years ago."
Yeah.
Like that was me like 2 years ago. I'm like, oh, cool, awesome. That brings things up. That's great. But it was
Thanks so much for joining me again. I really appreciate it. Just the next like bracket of stuff I'll be doing is like spooky season movies for all of November. I'm skipping ahead. What are the months we have coming up? September and October. So whatever spooky movie or fall adjacent movie you would like to do, please come back on.
of course I'm down. I'm down.
It stopped.